Hey guys, it's Tony here, and I recorded this video at about 3 a.m., 2 a.m. or so, and it's my first solo gameplay, solo commentary, but I figured, I'd let you guys learn a little bit about me and my background, so I'd tell you a story. Uh, Me and Frankie both love band. I love it more than him. I still go back to my high school every now and then and help out, but I absolutely love it, and we we got this chance to go to band camp, and uh, for the Phantom Regiment. Now, if you don't know who the Phantom Regiment is, they're like the best in the U.S., maybe in the world. I'm not quite sure, but I'm 100% sure they're the best in the U.S. And we got to go for free. Now, these tickets to go were like $200, and then you had to pay for your plane ticket and everything. Luckily, it was right in our hometown, and we got to go for free. So we get there, and there's people from all around the U.S. showing up, and we're like, wow, like this is a serious thing. So we're thinking to ourselves, are we gonna be good enough? Like, I know you're here to improve, that's why we're here, but are we gonna be good enough to play with these guys? When we get in, and then the first day, the first thing we do, we go up to the room, we meet our instructors and everybody, and then we start learning breathing exercises and stretching exercises, and, and then after that, we went to eat lunch, I think, and no, we took a water break. Then we came back in, learned some more exercises. Then we went out to the field where the Phantom Regiment were rehearsing, and we got to sit there and watch them for like an hour or so, and then after that, I think we had dinner, and then we went back to our where we were staying, which was the dorms. Guys were on top, girls were on the bottom. Now, me and Frank, we were kind of like the social outcast at the time. Only a few of them knew that we were there for free, and I'm pretty sure that they're like really jealous of that. So me and Frank are just sitting in our room with our snacks because my parents, when I came, I brought like a ton of snacks, and we're just sitting in our room eating snacks and looking over the music that we got because they did give us our music for what we were gonna play. So we looked it over and we were like, "Oh, this part's gonna be easy. This part's gonna be hard." And all the way across the hall, on the room like exactly opposite from us, everybody's just gathered in that room, and they say they were practicing, but they weren't. They were just like sitting in there goofing off, telling stories and stuff. But we're in our room, actually kind of taking it serious because we're like, can we do this? Are we good enough to be with these guys? I mean, we're just kind of doubting ourselves, but the whole time we're like, we could probably do this. So we go to bed the next day. We wake up, go to breakfast. Everybody's in a big group, walking to the place where we eat, and we get our food and we sit down and we start eating. We're like, dude, this is really good, but like pop and stuff, all watered down. It was a mess. Like, it was insanely watered down, but the food was really really good. And these two people come up and they sit next to us and they start talking to us, and we're like, oh, we made friends. Like, oh, look at that. We're socializing. Someone actually seems to care about us. And then we go to rehearsal. That day we had like 3 or 4 rehearsals. I mean, it's insane how many rehearsals you have a day. Keep in mind, band camp is only 3 days long. So we do the rehearsals, and then we come back and eat lunch, and we go back, do more rehearsals, eat dinner, and then go back to our cabins. Well, not cabins, to our dorm rooms, and and then and then Frank's parents were like, "Hey, you guys want some more snacks?" Since he didn't bring any snacks, and I was the only one that really brought snacks. We were like, "Yeah, sure." So They come in, we grab all the snacks from them. They got like milk, um, milk with a little panda symbol on it. They have what do they have? They have like these Frito type chips. They had these little gummies. Like they had all of it. Everything that I didn't have, they had. And we sitting there looking because we literally put all the snacks on a bed and it covered the whole bed. We're sitting there looking at it and we're like, there's no way we can eat this by ourselves. So we organize it because we are like, maybe somebody will come in our room, maybe because we leave our door open. Maybe somebody will come in here. So we just organize it. We put the waters and the milk on the AC system because it was blasting out cold air. So we're like, hey, this could work as our fridge, and it actually did work as a fridge. People thought we were crazy when we told them about it, but it did work. It was pretty cool. But then this girl comes in. And she's like, "Are those Oreos?" We're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can I have some?" I was like, "Go ahead, dude. Go nuts." So she takes some, and then she sits down in our room and starts talking with us, and we're talking and talking, and then eventually she leaves. And we're like, "Oh, she's gone." But she comes back with more people. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, we're getting a little bit of popularity." So we're thinking to ourselves, we're getting there. Not everybody seems to notice us yet, but we're getting there. And yeah, so that's what happened. And then we go to bed. They leave. We go to bed. The next morning, we go to breakfast. Our little group gets bigger. More people want to talk to us. More people want to join us because we're the weird ones. Our band that we were in for high school hated us. We were just weird. And usually bands are filled with weird people. For some reason, our band hated weird. I don't know why it happened that way. We were just, we just came in at the wrong time, I guess. But usually bands filled with weird people, weird, strange, interesting people. And we were those people, me and Frank. And so they were interested in us, They didn't just want us for snacks. I mean, obviously they liked the snacks because it was something to eat while we all talked or drink. And so, it's the third day. It was actually 4 days, but the fourth day is a performance, and then we go home at like 1. I don't know. But so it's the third day, and we just had breakfast. We go to rehearsal, then we get like an hour of free time or something like that. I don't know, but everybody, like literally most of the camp was gathered inside of our room that day. And we were sitting there playing music, we were singing, we were dancing, we were having fun. Like there was never a dull moment in our room from that moment on. And I don't know, I kind of felt bad for the guys across the hall that had the room full of people the first day. But we were getting popular. We were being noticed. We felt good about ourselves, And on top of that, we were able to hang with those guys. Now, we play trombone, and trombone is the absolute easiest to be out of tune on a note because you have that slide. There are literally millions on millions of possibilities of what you can play, whether it's in tune or not. And we were, usually sometimes out of tune, so we had to fix it. But other than that, we were pretty good with them. And so nightfall comes, and we're like, hey guys, let's all go outside and just look at the stars. Let's all go outside, play, have fun, talk, do whatever. So we go outside, and Frank tries to take my cover from me, and so we end up wrestling over the cover, and we end up getting tangled up in the cover, and that was pretty funny. We found it funny, but after that, we kind of split into two groups. It was me and Frank and a few other people. We went over by this tree, and we played Never Have I Ever because we thought it'd be fun. And then there's another group just over doing their own thing and doing whatever. And then I came up with the idea of why don't we all just like pull an all nighter and just stay up, just stay um just stay in me and Frank's room, just pull an all nighter. And they're like, yeah, sure. So lights out is at 11, I believe, or 12. I forgot which. But right after that, they made sure that the supervisor of them was asleep, and they all snuck up to our room. Some of the girls snuck up, some of the guys came in. We didn't really have to sneak because there was nobody supervising us. The only supervisor was a girl, and she slept down there with her daughter. But everybody snuck in our room. And we're like, okay, this is fine, this will work. So we bring in a few extra beds from the surrounding rooms, and everybody's got a place to lay. And then a little bit of conflicts happens. Like someone gets jealous that someone was sitting with someone else, like literally. And I'm like, you can lay on my bed. I'll just sleep on the wall. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but I meant like sitting down against the wall, just sleep. And I'm like no. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. So I just didn't lay on the bed. I was like, maybe they'll take it eventually. And they just left. It's like, okay, that kind of made me mad. And so we just kind of decided, you know what? Let's just all go to sleep. Let's just go to sleep. So we tried. We really tried. But we couldn't. I was like, okay, I know none of us are sleeping, so let's just stay up and tell stories and talk. So what ended up happening is we all just stayed up. We all just stayed up, told stories. We got into the feelings. We told personal stories that I'm not going to tell you guys because, that's their business. They wouldn't want me telling their stories. They wouldn't tell my stories to other people, so I'm not going to tell you. But I am going to tell you, we did get in our feelings, and we all grew together, like closer as a family. We kind of became the second family. And eventually we all got tired, so we started doing breathing exercises and stretching exercises after every story because, we wanted to stay awake. So 5 or 6 a.m. comes, and I'm like, hey, let's go for a walk. Everybody's like, yeah. So we all get up, we all sneak out, and we go for a walk around the campus. And then when we come back, like, people are, like, passing out left and right. And I think someone even passed out. They went to the bathroom, and I think they even passed out on the toilet. We were just so tired. And I passed out for a good, 30 minutes or so. And then I woke up. Now, keep in mind, me and Frank, the composer the director always, said something like, you guys are doing this wrong, you need to improve on this or whatever. But that day at rehearsal, right before the performance, flawless. We don't know if it was because of the lack of sleep or what, but it was flawless. We had no mistakes. It was beautiful, absolute thing of beauty. And then performance time comes, and we play for our parents or whoever decided to show up. We played for them. It ended. And then we all had to start packing our bags, and that's when it got sad. All of us were pretty sad that we had to go. And knowing that they're band kids, as I was leaving, I looked back and I said, "Goodbye, everybody." And they all just broke out in song. I've got to go. And it was beautiful. I loved it. As I'm walking off, I got this choir behind me looking really badass. As I'm walking off, and they're all singing behind me, and they're all giving out hugs and everything. And I get into my car, and I'm really sad. I'm like, I'm probably never going to see these people again. Because I didn't have my phone with me. They said no phones, but, that wasn't a strict rule. My dad thought it was a strict rule, and he's like, no, you're not taking your phone, no. So I didn't really have any way to contact people. Luckily, later that year, I did get in contact with a few of them, and I joined a group chat with most of them in it, and that was pretty fun. But I left, and like the moment I got home, I sat on the couch, and I kid you not, within 30 seconds, I was passed out for the rest of the day. Like, my mom was cleaning the house, vacuum and everything. I slept like a baby. But it was so fun, and I wish they would have done it again. But the thing is, the deal was, they give 2 free passes to each school to have kids come in, and they were hoping that they wouldn't have to pay for the facility that they were staying in, that the Phantom Regiment was staying in. No, they actually ended up paying extra, and they were actually really, really outraged about it. So the program ended like immediately. Luckily, I was one of the few that was privileged enough to go for free, and I loved it. Frank loved it. You know, we made some friends. We had some good times, some bad times. It was like a family. We just loved it. We didn't want to let go. Who would? You know? But anyways, that's my story. So that's a little bit about my background, if that tells you anything about my background. But thanks for listening to my semi-ramble, semi-story. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys are awesome.